Hill looking around. Here's George. Good. The assist goes to Hill.
I like to see him use the hard foul. They did it there. That's aggressive attitude defensively.
Now, here is George. He isn't playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game.
That straight line drive there from Paul George. You love to see him get in that attack mode. Let's see if he can cash in now at the line.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And you know what? The work he's put in at the line starting to pay off. How about 78% on the season?
And that's good as he hits both.
To be able to get back and play at this kind of level, it's an incredible amount of determination and toughness that PG shows.
And that's how to make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. Steve Novak, he's checked in for New York.
At the line for Indiana, Paul George. One shot.
He is such a great dunker.
Greg, a high riser, no doubt about it. Now, here's George. He's got 7. A terrific shot on the turnaround. And oh, here we go with Hill. Nobody back. 2 points. That one goes. 11 points for Paul George. And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. 10-point lead. This is their biggest.
Well, you got to have this great ball control when you're...
Fast break, here they come. Here's George. And he gets the bucket. George has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Point guard, if it's the ability to shoot and play without it, Steph's at the top of your league list, but then you get a guy like this.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for Indiana. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead.
And a moment now to see some numbers for Carmelo Anthony. He's getting around 28 points per, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. And he's a nice scoring threat in their second unit, a guy who provides instant offense.
And he has really settled into this role. For some guys, maybe him, they'd rather come off the bench and do their damage.
And both free throws good for... And George kicks it to West. Shot clock at 6. Beyond the arc. And Paul George good for the 3. George. Pass to George. Fades. That counts. He's put up 13 shots and he's had to George. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And George with the stuff. Augustine. Now, here's George, covered by Brewer. And that one's good. George is good. Pass to George. Shot clock at 6. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Augustine, that's good.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point.
Gone a perfect 4 of 4 to start the final quarter. Can't ask for anything more than that. And George, here we go. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, once Paul George gets in that deep, get out of the way. He's coming right at you.
Knicks have gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the 4th quarter. Really getting it done. And George, here we go. And then George with the jam.
Paul George dunk contest, maybe a little low.
Dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And they put themselves into the driver's seat in regards to the season series with this team. Tonight's win will give them a 2-1 edge with only 1 left to play.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight. And Thomas against George. And it's Paul George with the finish.
Impressive job by the